So what's your favorite tool that you can't live without?
There's I think NVM, like Node Version Manager. I can't live without that. So we have a lot of projects at work. Some of them are kind of legacy.
Yep.
So they're using like Node version 10 or legacy. Node version 10 or whatever. When you npmi, everything breaks. Because of the different versions, and you can't really upgrade because then the project will itself die. So that's been super useful. Yeah. Probably one of my favorite things that I can't live without.
Yeah, so you can live without all the text editors.
I started looking at web tutorials and wrote it in just plain .txt. And whatever, write some HTML. Yeah. I think I can go back to that. I don't know actually. Yeah. So I guess we'll throw VS Code into this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think VS Code is like I think pretty much the de facto.
Yeah, at this point.
Pretty much. Cool. What about you, Will?
So for me, it might sound funny, but it's the thing I think I use for the VS Code.
What is the thing?
I use a thing called Nighthole.
It is a lovely thing. I use it as well.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, it's. I think it's got the right amount of contrast and the italicize the right thing as well.
Yeah.
It's like you don't realize something is important before you lose it. That's insane. Then I was like, I got engaged on this new role and I got given a laptop. Yeah. So I can go without a theme. Let's try something different just for a change.
Right.
And it didn't feel right.
It didn't feel right.
I feel sort of like I need to kind of look at another project like on my own laptop. I just wow. Yeah, I think this might be it. Then I just sort of like installed it at work laptop, and I was like, so good.
Nice.
I think that's the front end developer in all of us. You need to have it looking just right to actually be productive.
It's like you're looking at it like I look at it like 7 hours a day, and it's just I think. It needs to be right. It needs to be
definitely
pleasant for your eye.
Spark joy. Actually, had one of the designers come to my screen and say, "Oh, that's very colorful." Just looking at my IDE and having this different syntax highlighting, and they were like, "Oh, that's so colorful. That's so good."
I've definitely heard that same thing. Like, I think they imagine we're just the boring bunch and look at
all in the terminal.
Yeah, all in the terminal. Awesome. What advice would you give for someone who's just starting?
I would say, just don't be discouraged. So I live in constant imposter syndrome.
A lot of people.
I think a lot of developers are just, like I look at some of the stuff that people do online because I'm not very active on social media. But if I just see some of the stuff they do, I'm like, I can't do that. They do insane stuff, and sometimes you kind of get discouraged, and you're like, I'm going to stop looking at this, but don't. Just keep going.
That's really good.
Yeah. I mean, I do get it. Like, I think, particularly when you work with a bunch of very talented people, and you definitely get that constantly. Like, you just feel you're not good enough. I think it's important to, I guess, to just feel good about yourself and just keep going. You're good. You're doing good because that's why you're, here and doing what you're doing. I think from me, I'd say just learn by doing. Don't just read the concept and think, I've got it. Like, a lot of times you gotta just, do a thing while you're doing a, bit of research, or you're trying to pick up a new concept. You definitely want to do it. First thing, personally, I would think, what would I do with this new piece of technology? Then I would just do it, and it's the best way to actually learn. Words are easy to understand, but like the concepts are hard. Sometimes.
And if you are doing web, definitely look at Codesandbox.io. It's so good. And if you haven't wide enough monitor, having the documentation and Codesandbox on one side, I think you can probably accelerate your learning.
A lot of documentation nowadays actually in that Codesandbox. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. There are a couple of different Codesandbox alternatives.
Yeah.
I wonder what they did that's so different to the others that they stand out.
Just feels like VS Code.
The theme.
Stackblaze, because they are specialized in Angular, and in Angular community people use that.
Right.
I think it's how customized they are towards certain audiences as well.
I just like, because you go to a new project and it's like, oh, React with TypeScript. It's like, that's exactly what I want. Instead of, going local, in the directory and then, you just go, I just want that one. Just give me that.
Yeah. And I think it hooks into GitHub as well.
You can export. You can do it as a Git repo. You can just download your project. It has ESLint prettier all set up for you. Like, it takes care of so many things that if you just want to start, just eat ginger, jump in, and you can.
I definitely would say like starting web nowadays is definitely like better than, let's say, 10 years ago.
But that also brings a good point, which is a lot of people don't know what's behind the work that we do. They see the end product, the website, but they didn't know all the things that we need to set up before that, right? Even before we start coding anything, there's quite a lot of setup work. And after we've coded everything and it works on my computer, right? It works on mine, but it's a whole different story to deploy it into a shared environment and have it used by other people. There's a lot of hidden work involved. So what would you do if you're not coding or in web?
Honestly, no idea. Before web and game dev, I wanted to do architecture. And then I did a school unit on architecture and realized I can't draw shit. Can't draw at all. So that dream quickly dissipated. I actually have no idea what I'd be doing otherwise.
So what's your hobby nowadays?
Gaming. My hobby is gaming and coding. I don't do much else.
Professional gaming, maybe?
Maybe. It got very competitive.
Very good.
I mean, Twitch. So, like, I think if we go back to the, school time, I was like, funny story, like, I sort of initially, sort of decide what I'm going to do for university. I sort of pick up nuclear science, environment.
Ooh, nice. Wow.
Studies, kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
But then it's like, because back then I was like actually doing this ensemble at high school. And there was also a kind of band as well. So like the music teacher she was super inspiring. It's like, you probably should, she didn't tell me directly, but like I just thought like, I need to do something like I really want to do.
Yeah.
And I just never really sort of like enjoy doing like, physics, chemistry, and this math. Like, sort of like for a very long time at least, I didn't really sort of wrap my head around why they are important in our life. So then I sort of like, I guess went to do what I do here nowadays. And I think the reason I brought up that is because obviously I think it's because of like I was doing music at the time. And I think if I want coding, I would just, slightly like I picked up just playing piano as a hobby. And just...
We should have a Will Plays Piano section for sure.
Yeah, we will. How do you keep up with latest industry trends?
I don't think I do. I think there's so many that I kind of fall behind, but I do watch quite a bit of YouTube, so I think that kind of keeps me up to date with like what some of the guys are doing there. And our designers are also pretty on point. So if there's a new industry way of doing things, they're usually pretty on top of it. So they kind of expose me to a lot of the new style of design, or new animation techniques, or 3D or whatever. So it's mainly through them. Otherwise I would definitely fall behind.
Yeah. I think nowadays, I feel like we just have information overload.
Yeah.
I think they just come to me, like, rather than I need to go out and get the latest information.
Yeah.
Although I do sort of subscribe to a few newsletters.
Yep.
I mean, you have like React status, serverless status, like it's just like a newsletter that's just something to scan through every now and then. Yeah, you see cool stuff happening, and it's through that, because when you click things and Google knows what you're doing, and you get recommendation on YouTube, I just watch those.
I think the GitHub trending page is pretty good as well.
Yeah.
There's a few repos that I found there that does cool stuff.
Yeah.
And the mobile app as well. Like if I'm done browsing Reddit, for the 40th time, going on there and just seeing like what's trending, it's kind of cool sometimes.
Yeah.
Some interesting projects.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I did realize that GitHub sort of started doing more social media-like feed. It's good move on that. Yeah. Awesome. That's great, guys. Thank you so much.
All good.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Yeah.